Welcome to North Hartford High School. I'm Levi.
And I'm Mia.
We know how hard the freshman year can be.
Yeah, trust me, I know.
And so to help you guys with your freshman year, we're going to be showing you some expectations versus reality for freshman year. Let's go.
Well, upperclassmen are, they're nicer, but they also understand more than normal people do. They understand what you do in life.
Upperclassmen aren't really as bad as you think they are. Actually, they're pretty nice. You can ask them for help when you get lost. They'll be willing to help you, or they can even become your friend. Yeah. There we go. Yeah, this is gonna work. You guys get out! Fight!
Hold on. Contrary to popular belief, teachers at North Hartford are actually pretty chill.
Alright, I wouldn't say there's any really mean teachers, but there might be a couple that give you a hard time, but they're just trying to push you to do your best in their class. And you might think it's mean at the time, but later down the line you're going to realize that you should have listened to them.
Okay, so I think that what really happens in ninth grade is that expectations are raised. You're coming from middle school, going to high school, and teachers aren't necessarily more evil or mean or scary. They have higher expectations, and it's like, okay, now you gotta, let's do some growing up, kind of thing.
Oh my god, hey, can you guys get out? Because you're gonna miss class soon. Oh, okay, thank you.
At North Hartford High School, it can be kind of confusing to get around. I mean, the building is so big. Luckily, you'll have some help in the hallways this year. Here's one of the seniors' takes on the building.
I think for the first couple of days it's probably hard to find your way around the school, but then you kind of realize that everything kind of connects because the school kind of just is a giant square. My advice would be to just be social. Don't just keep to yourself, make friends.
You have a chance to make it from class to class with plenty of time. Don't spend too much time socializing, and you'll get where you're going. If you need to ask an upperclassman where a class might be, they can help as well.
It's also important to note that there are signs all over the hallway so they can point you in the right direction. In a recently conducted survey, it was found that over 95% of people actually got lost on the first day of school.
Oh my gosh, excuse me, do you know where room G209 is?
Yeah, it's right there to the right. Just go right down the hallway to the right. Thank you. You're welcome.
Okay, just got home, ready to do homework. Let's see what we got. Oh no.
The amount of homework you expect is not really realistic. We do get projects here and there, but other than that, it's not too much work.
I don't have a lot of homework at all. I definitely thought I would have a lot more than I did going into high school, but currently this year only three of my teachers said that they don't even believe in homework. Teachers that do give homework, it's usually only stuff that you don't finish in class, and so it's as easy as anything you'd be doing in class.
Just to give some insight on how homework might look, here's my homework. As you can see, there are 4 boxes filled out with my planner. Now, this might seem like a lot, but it actually isn't really that bad. For example, one of the things in my planner is study for tests, so I'm going to be using this to help me study. It's not really going to take too long, maybe 30 minutes. Well, my journalism homework is to make edits on a video, and here's what I'm going to use for that right here, and that really won't take that long either. Now for government, this is a long-term project. It's due on Monday, and so I'm going to be using this, which really will only take a few days, and this is going to be the start of it. And then for my French test, I really don't need to study for it because it's really not that hard. So that's kind of what homework might look like for you guys, but it depends on classes and which teacher you have. If that amount of homework overwhelmed you at all, don't worry. As long as you're organized, responsible, and use your time wisely, you'll be able to keep your homework in check, and it won't really be a big Alrighty, time to do homework. Let's see what we got. Okay, I can do the flashcards tomorrow since tomorrow's an A-Day. Quizlet is online and that's only a few problems, so that'll be okay.
So the Pythagorean theorem tells us if we weren't so distracted by these devices, let me have that, you're not getting it back till the end of the day. Do you know how many times I've asked this particular student to stay off her phone so she could learn what she's supposed to be learning?
Teachers are not strict on phones. They don't really care what you do with them as long as you're not completely distracted or distracting others in the class.
So the phone policy for the most part is just don't have it out, don't be messing with it. You can always ask teachers and they might let you, but for the most part keep it away, keep it silenced, just be careful about it and you should be fine.
I'm not concerned, please put it away. Put it away.
So, as you heard in the clip, when the teacher saw the phones out, he didn't yell or scream or wasn't aggressive with the students. Instead, he just asked them to put them away, which is what will happen at school. There will be no aggression.
Hey, creators! Welcome to Harvard. We're so excited to have you next year. High school is filled with so many adventures. And we're going to show you a few tips and tricks on how to make it through your high school years.
I think one thing that freshmen need to focus on is organization, because they're coming from the middle school where they have the same classes every day, but here we change our schedule from A-Day to B-Day. And so they really need to think about how they're going to organize their supplies so that they have the right things for the right classes on the right days. One thing that freshmen tend to overlook is that in high school, you're not looking to kind of pass overall. You're looking to pass individual classes. And so you really have to focus on each class and making sure that you have a passing grade at the end of the year for that class. Another thing that freshmen often, I don't know if overlook is the right word, but that trips them up at the beginning of the year is that their lunch is not always with the same people on the same day. So lunch is always by your third block class, and you have a different class with the AB schedule for that time. So just because you had lunch, at 10:30 yesterday doesn't mean you have lunch at 10:30 today. But we do post schedules so that you can just look at them to know when's the appropriate time to go to lunch. Just to remember that everybody is new at some point in their life, whether it's at a new job or at a new school. And so don't be afraid to ask for help, because everyone who is in this building has been new before too, and we're willing to help.
Hi, I'm Mr. Orth. I am an English teacher. I teach 9th and 12th grade. And it's interesting seeing kids grow up over the course of those 4 years. And the biggest piece of advice I would give to freshmen is don't let 14-year-old you make decisions that are going to affect adult you. A lot of times kids, when they're young, think, oh, I don't need this, I don't like this, I'm never going to do anything with this. So that by the time they're seniors, or even later when they're in college, they realize, oh darn, I really wish I would have. And so I think it's really important to keep as many doors and windows open as possible for for as long as possible, because you never know when you're going to change your mind and maybe want to do something else. I know for me personally, I changed my college major 4 times and went from everything from sciences to English and other things as well. So that would be my one piece of advice.
Hi, I'm Harley Wiseman. I'm a freshman at North Hartford. And something that I wish I knew before coming to high school was just how many opportunities that you get. Like before I came here, I thought it was just going to be another year of school. But as soon as I did, they started talking about all of these clubs, sports, programs that you could join. And like I joined the FFA this year, and I'm applying for the show team to show one of the pigs or lambs. And I didn't even realize that was an option until I got here. A tip that I would tell like incoming freshmen this year is just to plan out what you want to do and know what you want to do in advance, just to make it a little easier on yourself so you're not stressing out and worrying about everything. And I would just say to relax, because it's not as frightening as everyone thinks it is. Like,
hi, I'm Autumn, and something I wish I knew before coming into high school is that it's not as stressful as people make it seem, and just to really stay organized, it helps you be more relaxed.
In a random poll of high school students, 82% said that being organized helps them reduce stress. 18% said it does not.
Hi, I'm Kale. Some advice I have is to just know your way around the building, make some new friends, and be yourself.
Hey, I'm Zach, and the best piece of advice I can give for 8th graders for your freshman year is don't choose classes with your friends, because if you do, you might not always end up with them, and you won't like the classes you choose. You'll be completely miserable your whole freshman year.
Hi, I'm Delaney, and a piece of advice is I'd say to join a sports team like in the fall or winter. That's where you meet like a lot of your friends, and you just fit in easier that way.
Hey, I'm Nora, and one piece of advice I would give you before coming to the high school would be don't like overload yourself with a whole bunch of honors and AP classes.
Thank you for watching, and if you have any more questions, don't be afraid to ask your teachers or counselors. Good luck, freshmen, and we hope to see you next year.
I'm Claire Moffat, I'm Elaine Schwartz, and we're going to show you the most important people and places in the building. Let's go!
The most important adults to know in this building, I think, are the counselors, because you can talk to them about anything you need to know about, whether it's your mental health or your plans for the future, the classes you're taking. It helps you with your future and what you're dealing with right now.
They help you schedule, they can help with multiple things. So again, I think guidance counseling is the most important people in the building.
These will be your school counselors: Miss Hines, Miss Uppercue, Mr. Zott, Mr. Johnston, Miss Hensel, your school psychologist, and Miss West is at the front desk.
I think the most important places to know in the school are definitely knowing like where the social studies hallway is, where the math hallway is, where the science hallway is, and the English hallway, because all those classes are going to be in those hallways.
Dallas hallway is any classes, elective classes that you may have. This hallway is science hallway, and this hallway is math.
This is the lecture hallway, this is the English hallway, and then this is the government hallway.
Hi everybody, there's some really important people in North Hartford. Just so you know, for those 8th graders coming in the office we have some awesome administrators, Mr. Policki, Mr. Stevens, and Miss Mock. They're all so helpful if you have any questions. Miss Crenshaw and Mr. Ott, if you want to check out a book, they're great resources, and if you need help with your laptop, that's also awesome. They are always around and they're always here to help. So, I can't wait to have you at North Hartford.
Hi, I'm Mackenzie, and I think that the most important place in the school is definitely the main staircase, because that's like the staircase that you really use to get to your locker if it's on a different level, and get to your classes if it's on a different level as well.
This is the main stairwell that will be from the gym floor to the 3rd floor.
I think it's important to have a teacher that you feel comfortable with, and for me it's Miss Lemke, my English teacher, because she's really easy to talk to, and I feel like I can go to her for anything.
So personally, I think the most important person in the building is Mr. Policki, the principal. It's because he sort of runs things around here, and if you want to do basically anything, you have to go through him. So he pretty much says what goes and what doesn't. So if you want to really do anything in the building, you kind of have to go ask him.
This is Mr. Policki, our main principal.
This is Miss Mock, she'll be your vice principal.
This is the main entrance, also called the atrium. To your right, we have the main office, and to the left, the auditorium. Most people come in the door this way that are car riders, and that's how a lot of people start their day. Now we're going to take a look at some other important places you'll need to know. This is the main gym. This is the weight room. And this is Miss Marty's room, the aerobics room.
The most important place in the building is the cafeteria.
This is the cafeteria where you will eat lunch.
And last but not least, the girls' locker room and the boys' locker room.
Thanks for watching.
Good luck in high school.
Hello and welcome to North Hartford High School. I'm Lexi Gott.
And I'm Kim Sawyer.
And today we're going to be helping you with any possible questions, concerns, or anything and everything about classroom and homeroom structure here at North Hartford High School.
We hope this helps. We asked some students what they do during homeroom to give you the general idea of how the day starts.
Okay, so during homeroom, I come in when the bell rings and I sit down and I watch the morning news every morning and I wait for the bell to ring and then I go to class.
I walk around with my friends until the bell rings and then I just go to homeroom.
During homeroom, we have a lot of freedom and I usually walk around with my friends.
What I do during homeroom is I just talk with my friends, and when the 5-minute bell rings, I go back to homeroom and I sit down and wait for the announcements and I watch the announcements.
The next question we asked students was who their favorite 9th grade teacher is and why, to get you familiar with your potential future teachers.
My favorite teacher is Miss Massetti because her environment is very welcoming and she's really funny.
So Mr. Phil is my favorite 9th grade teacher. He's very chill in his class and we do work and we normally get to work with partners.
The last question that we asked a student was, what would you tell your 9th grade self?
I would tell my 9th grade self to not stress out as much about classes, and even if you're struggling with harder classes, it's okay because always get the easier things done first.
And finally, let's go hear from teachers Miss Massetti and Miss Canali about homeroom and class structure.
Okay, so in homeroom, we follow the morning announcements, we take attendance, make sure that students are in by 7:25. If they're late, they need to go in and sign in at the office. Once the announcements are over, students usually sit and wait quietly for the bell to ring. If it's a Hawk-Soar day, students will work for about 45 minutes during that time and will catch up on any missed assignments or get extra help if they need it.
So to maintain structure in my class, I make sure that the routines that we have, we do every single day. For example, in my class, when my students walk in, there's a warm-up on the board ready for them to complete when they sit down and get started. It's already up so they don't have to wait for it. They have their drill sheets. They keep them throughout the week so they have easy access to those. During the class, I just make sure to follow through with all of my procedures and everything that I wrote down in the syllabus, with different things like cell phones and being on time and making sure you're paying attention. And we always do our class all the way right until the end, where we do a closure and an exit ticket, where the students are expected to complete the exit ticket. So really the easiest way to keep structure in my class is to just keep the students working at all times.
As we see here, 72% of students out of 39 students asked said that they walk around during homeroom. So high school homeroom and middle school homeroom are definitely two very different things. In middle school, you're probably used to staying in your homeroom for at least 30 minutes and doing work if needed. But here in high school, you get a lot more freedom for homeroom, and obviously there's still a lot of limitations, but there is still much more freedom. In homeroom, you can walk around with friends and just talk for a while, or you can go see teachers and do makeup work, and you don't need to ask to go anywhere like you do in middle school. Depending on your teacher, at least, I know for me that and a lot of other students, you don't need to ask to go out of homeroom. You can just check in and then go back to wherever you want to go and then just make sure that you're back on time, because we're very strict about homeroom here, because if you're not back on time, you will probably be sent to the office to sign in, because technically you're not there if you're not there in time for homeroom.
So that's basically all the basics that you need to know about homeroom here at North Hartford High School.
Hi, my name's Emily. I go to North Hartford High School. I'm a sophomore. I play tennis and I'm also in Stars Club.
Hi, my name is Stella. I'm a sophomore at North Hartford High School and I play soccer and tennis and I am in Stars and Drama Club.
You will meet current students and teachers. You may meet people. This may help you navigate high school. Learning the ins and outs. The students you can see in the hallway. Now let's get into it.
Now starting with the most important part of your day.
You may come into the main office atrium of your car rider.
Most students start their day this way.
Now let's talk to one of those students.
For me, extracurriculars and sports are always going to relieve my stress that I get in this building every day. So I kind of see it as more of a fun thing than kind of like oh, I got to do this. So as long as you do an extracurricular or a sport that you enjoy, I think you'll have a great time and it won't be so stressful.
Many students aim to achieve a high GPA and a good social life.
This is difficult but not impossible. Let's talk to another student who loves her sports and maintains a high GPA.
Managing time in high school might be a little bit harder than you think because sports schedules and homework is just a lot more than in middle school. You tend to have more games and practices and teachers and coaches can be more demanding. And so it's always good to talk to your teachers and stuff about your sports schedules and your school. I thought it was a bit easier because I had a middle school experience where I got to experience those things. But I think that everyone will do just fine. You just have to talk to your teachers.
As you can see here, we asked 41 students if they were nervous to start high school. 21 said no, and 19 said yes. Surviving high school seems like a big task, but really the hardest part is overcoming your fears.
Student work ethic is one of the things teachers look for in a student's range of capabilities. One of those teachers is Ms. Gestel.
You're kind of used to making up things at the end of the quarter. You're kind of used to being able to go back and fix your work from early in the quarter. That doesn't happen in high school. In high school, we have deadlines. I know in my class, every week, the first class of the following week, everything from the week before is due. And so I don't let you go back. If it comes in after that, it's late, it loses some credit. So I want to make sure you understand that if a teacher's telling you this is due next class, it's due next class, and if you don't turn it in, your grade will suffer accordingly. So that might be a little bit of a shift as you come up to the high school.
Teachers all have their own expectations, but you'll learn about this over time, so don't worry about it.
Students have different methods to adjust to typical high school expectations over time.
Let's hear from the current sophomore, James Ford.
So the way I adjusted the high school teacher's expectation was to study more and do a lot more individual homework on my own. High school teachers assign a lot of homework outside of the classroom. So doing that, but also making sure that you completely understand what you're doing is a really great job.
The pressure to participate can make some students stressed out.
I wonder how it can affect their work ethic and academics. Athletic director and history teacher Mr. Larimore has some insight about this topic.
Playing sports and going to school at the same time, academics are very important. You have to be a very organized person. You have to be very disciplined. Sports will help you with that. After school, you have to do your homework right away, get things done, get a good night's sleep to help you perform on the field and in school at the same time.
Many students feel concerned when it comes to high school. This junior, Kendall Fortune, has something to say about that.
Incoming freshmen should be more excited than nervous coming into high school because you have a lot more freedom and you get to decide what classes you want to take, and it's just overall a more roomy environment, and you get to see more people and new faces every day.
Many students also feel concerned just about the overall high school experience. This feeling is completely normal, but don't hold on to it for too long, it will fade quickly.
Hi, my name is Nia Shaw. I'm in 11th grade, and in this segment, I'm going to teach you about the mental and intellectual help you can get from our school.
The guidance room is where all the counselors are. There are 2 in the front, and the rest are down another hall. When you go in for your appointment, you sign in, you tell the lady at the front desk who you're here for, and then you go sit down. When you sit down, your counselor is not always going to be right out to come and get you, so you can wait at one of the tables available there. After you visit your counselor, you just sign out and head back to class. This pink slip is a pass that allows you to request time with your counselor. This paper is always found on the front desk of the guidance room. When I fill out the slip, I always put that it's urgent because I never know when my counselor is able to get back to me, and in my opinion, the sooner the better. The reasoning can also just be one word, like college, or two, like class switch. You can always explain it in further detail when you meet with your counselor. Moving down the paper, the table might be confusing for some people. I know it was confusing for me when I was in 9th grade. So these are a list of counselors, as you can see. Your counselor will be determined by the letter of your last name. Since my last name is Shaw, I would pick Mr. Zott and put a check near his name. Everything under the table is for your counselor, so after you finish filling out the pink slip of paper, you hand it to Ms. West, who should be at the front desk, and if she's not, you just place it on her desk.
Hi, I'm the school psychologist here at North Harvard High School, and part of my job is to help students identify their learning and their mental health needs. I can also help by talking to teachers about your needs or helping you become an advocate for yourself. I also help with mental health if there's a student that's in crisis, or maybe you just need some strategies to get through your day. That's what I'm here for. So I'm located up in the guidance office upstairs, and if you are struggling with mental health, please reach out and know that you're not alone, and we can provide you with resources. I do look forward to meeting you. Have a great day.
It's like for mental, I would think it's a little harder to go to the school because they may not have all of the resources. So, but I think the school should, give them something that would help them out.
I personally would feel comfortable going to the school for mental health, but I don't need to because my dad is supportive of me, but I think there are a lot of teachers and administration willing to listen.
Master tutors come from a few places. Sometimes it's a teacher recommendation. Sometimes guidance makes that recommendation. They have to fill out a form, an application, and they have to be approved. Master tutors serve a lot of roles. They sit side by side with students, and sometimes they model and show a student how to do something that's particularly challenging. Sometimes they just encourage or give words of praise or encouragement if a student is feeling discouraged or unable to do something. Sometimes they follow up and make sure a student has come to homeroom and is ready for the day and has done their homework. So they fill lots of roles, and there's lots of ways that you can make use of a master tutor in your classroom.
This right here is a Hawksword pass that you might receive if you want to go to a club meeting or tutoring during a selected time on Friday. That day might change the year you get here, so keep that in mind. On the day they choose, homeroom will be longer for students to have about 30 to 45 minutes for clubs, makeup work, and tutoring. You would definitely want to use this time to be productive if you're an athlete or miss a couple days of school. You can talk to your teachers before the day of Hawksword and pick up a pass so your homeroom teacher can let you go during that time. There are some clubs that have year-long passes like the BSU, so you don't have to constantly get a new one. If you do not have a pass, you must stay in homeroom unless the teacher says otherwise. The library is a great resource for research by book or on computer, and it's just a great place to go print off paperwork that you might have. I know in 9th grade I was up there almost every morning because I had papers to print off. You can go there during lunch, before school, after school. You can ask your teacher to go up, and I also feel like the library is a great place to do homework or study after school because there's not a lot of people there and everybody has to be quiet. So yes, please go to the library. In this segment, I don't touch upon the nurse's office, but it is a great place to go if you feel ill. The nurses there are phenomenal. It might be hard to find. I honestly never knew where it was until 11th grade because it doesn't stand out like the counselor's office or the library. Fun fact, it is actually in front of the library, on the other side of where the library is, and there are 2 doors that you can go through. I don't know if the doors will change once you get to 9th grade, but there is 1 door for people who are sick and then 1 door for people who are not sick. In a poll of 24 students, only 2 students agreed that they would get help from tutors at our school. In a poll of 24 students again, only 5 agreed that they would get help from their counselor about their mental health. Even though these numbers are low, I would still encourage you to do what you feel is best for yourself. Just because something doesn't work for somebody else doesn't mean it's not going to work for you. I definitely go to my teacher for help with grades, and I definitely go to my counselor, not for mental health, but mostly just for school-related things. but if you feel like you need help, there are definitely resources here for you, and please use them.
If you're interested in playing sports when you come to high school, then keep listening and find out more. Here at North Hartford, there's a variety of sports you could play, whether it's fall, winter, or spring. So to start, you have to register on a QR code and then fill out form relief and get a physical from your doctor. Tryouts tend to last 3 to 4 days for 2 hours each, and then they make cuts. When trying out for your sport, coaches tend to look for team players, skills, and coachability. But let's see what some of our coaches have to say.
I look for certain skills that they might have developed prior to coming to me. Like, so in basketball, their dribbling skills, their shooting form, things like that. But I also look for like how hard they work. Like, are they have great attitudes? If you have a bad attitude, I can't work with that. Are they willing to put in the extra time? This is stuff we're looking for. And in baseball, it's their skills again, but the willingness to learn from somebody like the coaches and work harder. But certainly skills play a huge part in it, whether they can catch or hit, throw, and basketball, shoot.
I'm not like a big yeller. I don't yell all the time. During games and when it's applicable, I will yell sometimes, but I'm not a guy that's going to yell all day every day, because I think it carries less weight. If you yell all the time, then nobody listens to you anymore. You just become like a guy who screams. So I try not to be that.
When trying out, don't stress out too much. Just be a good team player and let the coaches see your skills and your personality. From a random poll taken by North Hartford students, 65% play sport here.
So I do track, and the practices are 2 hours long. Could be an hour or 2 hours, depending on which one it is. And you focus and work on a lot of skills.
Also, keep in mind that it's $100 to play a sport, but after you play 2 sports, the third one is free. If you still have any questions about the sports here, you can follow the link and find a lot of information about North Hartford athletics. And make sure not to forget to mark your calendars on August 10th for fall sport tryouts.
I know you don't want to hear this, but you have to prioritize your schoolwork. It's very important, and just make sure you stay on top of that, and then you can have fun with sports. There's a variety of sports here, so yeah.
Just remember to have fun playing the sports you love and talk to a coach if you have any questions. Good luck!
Hey, I'm Ava, a freshman here at North Hartford High School, and I'm going to be talking to you about clubs and extracurricular opportunities here at North Hartford High School. So let's go.
One of the most important things about your high school experience is getting involved with all of the many incredible opportunities at North Hartford in extracurricular activities. Drama is one of the best extracurricular activities you can become a part of.
Hi, my name is Sky Luco, and I go to North Hartford High School. And I was in drama club for most of it. And you should definitely join it because it's really fun. You get to hang out with your friends. You get to plan skits. You get to be in the play in the Renaissance Fair. It's really fun. You should definitely join it.
I would encourage everyone to join a club at least one time in their high school academic years, because there's so much that clubs have to offer. You have your academic, your artistic, your social justice. All of them bring different unique aspects, but that's where I met most of my friends outside of my classes in high school, and it gave me a chance to meet people that I wouldn't normally get the chance to have to be friends with.
The academic team is basically a Jeopardy format. We get together every Thursday after school from 2:15 to 3, and we have a buzzer system. We usually have snacks, and we compete against each other to see who knows all sorts of things, basic trivia questions, all things from sports to politics to everything else. And it's a lot of fun, and I highly recommend that you come by and check it out. There's no attendance requirement. If you can make it, you can make it, and if you can't, that's fine also. but I would love to see you there next year on the academic team.
Hello, my name is Jarek Joseph, and I am here to tell you the benefits of joining a club, specifically the Black Student Union. I think you should join the Black Student Union because it is open to, learning about other people's cultures and embracing, other people's cultures and how they live and everything. It's open to all races, and, it's just a fun club to be in, to meet new people that you don't know and that you want to learn more about.
My name is Preston Miller, and the two extracurricular activities that I find very helpful and fun are chess club and tutoring. Chess club, you get involved with a good group of people and you can have a lot of fun. They can just teach you a game and it can improve your mental health and stuff like that. And then tutoring, everyone's friendly around there and everyone helps you learn new tools and stuff to help you in class, any class you're struggling with. It's just an overall great experience.
In a random poll, 25 students were asked if they were in clubs. 9 of them said yes and 16 said no. This is unusually low considering most students are normally involved in extracurricular activities. However, as we are coming out of a pandemic and a lot of clubs haven't really been meeting, this is expected. But hopefully by next year, everything will be up and running again as usual. As you can already tell, there are lots of opportunities to get involved here at North Harford High School. But let's take a look at some more, and trust me, there are a lot more. Thanks for watching, and I hope that you join some extracurricular activities and clubs, and good luck in high school. Bye!
Here are lockers. They're a very important part of high school, and now we're going to talk to some other students and teachers to get their advice.
Lockers in high school are a little bit different than lockers in middle school. So the first thing you want to do is you want to turn it to the right a couple times to clear it. And then you want to turn and go to your first number. And then you want to turn left all the way and then go to your second number. And then you just turn right until it gets a little harder. And then you'll hear a click and then you just pull it open.
Hi, I'm Isabel and I'm a freshman, and I have some students and teachers who help me through your way through this.
So one way I keep my locker clean is when it's a B-day, I bring my B-day stuff here, and then when it's an A-day, I bring my A-day stuff here, but if it's not that day, then I'll keep it at home. And then I'll also keep all my papers together in a binder, so that my locker has more space for my book bag and other sports stuff. So that's it.
I'm Kenzie Boyedich, and I'm a junior. I'm Ava Zabowski, and I'm a junior. And I think the main thing I want the incoming freshmen to know is when you're walking in the hallways, make sure you stay on the right side and don't bunch up in front of the lockers and block people's ways.
My name is Andrew Clayton, and I recommend that everyone be nice to people, that way you make friends, and don't get stressed out about your work.
I'm Bella Eris, and some unspoken rules in high school are when you're walking in the hallways, you don't really stop in the middle and you go on the right side if you're right side. You don't really go on your phone in class unless the teacher asks you to. It's kind of disrespectful.
I'm Ms. Lemke, I teach English, and my advice to incoming ninth graders is to manage your time so that you can enjoy the things that we have here, but also get your academics taken care of first.
I'm Ms. Nines, and I also teach ninth grade English, and to follow up with what Ms. Lemke said, it's super important to stay organized on your OneDrive as well, such as having a separate folder for each of your individual classes, which will help you manage your time and stay on top of all of your work.
I hope this helped, and good luck next year in high school.
man, take it on, push it, yo. Everybody just talk, nobody really do it. Just keep it on the down low until you get into it. Gotta tell nobody at all while you make the call. It's all you, it's time to break the walls. Trick 'em with a fake, for show, keep it cool and low and prove the